The Mariana Trench is the most deepest part of the world and is located in the western Pacific east of the islands. Marianas. The region is famous for unique peculiarities including fonts that bubble liquid sulfur and dioxide, carbon-active mud volcanoes and life. Navy-adapted pressures 1,000 times higher than sea level. The Trench of the Marianas has 2,542 kilometers long, however. Narrow trench is just 69 kilometers long. With the territory of Guam, where the Mariana Trench is a territory of United States, and the 15 Mariana Islands of North are governed by a community of the United States. They have jurisdiction over the Mariana Trench. In 2009, former President George Bush established the Fossa das Marine National Monument Marianas that created a marine reserve, protected 506,000 kilometers squares of seabed and waters that surround the remote islands. The monument includes most of the Marianas around Tres Islas. Scientists say that the cesspool Marianas was created by the process that occurs in a subduction zone where collide into two massive plates of crust, oceanic, known as plates tectonics. In a subduction zone, piece of oceanic crust is pushed and pulled under each other, sinking into Earth's mantle, where the two pieces of crust intersect. A deep trench forms above the curve of the crust that is sinking. In this case, the crust of the Pacific Ocean is bowing below of the crust of the Philippines. Few human expeditions ventured into the location. The first occurred in 1960 with the historic plunge of Batistaphorus, a type of submersible free diving with a crew of 2 occupants. During the dive, passengers were surprised where scientists thought it was impossible anything survive. After James Cameron, director of the film Titanic, was the next deep-sea explorer to arrive at the place below the surface, establishing a world record in 2012. But what did these people who? They went down to the place and found what kind animal lives in the Mariana Trench. Another explorer who returned to the site was Victor Brushes, the investor from Texas. That came down 10,927 meters and broke the world record. In 2019, the investor said he saw scenes deplorable in the Mariana Trench, even being a remote location and practically uninhabitable. Time as you said you came across with a plastic bag and packaging sweets at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, taking human waste out of the septic tank. Das Marianas is a place full of amazing things. Like I mentioned previously, there are volcanoes in the area. But how can there be volcanoes in depths of the oceans? Well, a chain of volcanoes that rises above the ocean waves to form the Mariana Islands reflects the arc-shaped half-moon view of the Mariana Trench. Interspersed with the islands are many underwater volcanoes. They're in the depths of the pit, depending from the depth, not the sunlight, to generate life. Water temperatures are quite cold and tend to stay a little just above freezing, and the food is not particularly abundant, considering that these places are extremely a living being can survive in these areas. For example, the underwater volcano and focus mirror liquid carbon dioxide from hydrothermal vents. Similar to a chimney, the liquid that exits this chimney has a temperature of 103 degrees Celsius. Discovered a pool of sulfur melted 410 meters below the surface of the ocean, something never seen before. Another place on Earth, much more bizarre than volcanoes. Under the water are the creatures that live in the place. As far as is known, some bizarre animals manage to live in this very remote place. For example, have you ever heard of the Dumbo people? Real animal that has already been seen in Mariana Trench. These people have ears that resemble the elephant Dumbo to complete the exotic appearance and at the same time cute time that makes the animal look even more so a cartoon, being a of the animals that live in the most deepest parts of the world. The Dumbo people usually to live personally know that probably this won't happen unless you have enough money to buy equipment capable of going to extremely deep places. So you still run risks like happened to the group of billionaires. More recently, the black dragonfish with teeth, huge and frightening appearance, is a killer of the deep. Although they are fish, it doesn't actually have scales. Skin is slippery and slimy, and the shape gives this animal a certain resemblance to an eel as well. Known as dragonfish, this creature is about 15 centimeters long and prefers to swim between 200 and 1800 meters depth, where the waters are cold and dark. Like many creatures of water deep, this species depends a lot on parts of the body with bioluminescence that enhance chemical reactions internal to produce a bright, scary. The fish with bioluminescence use this feature to communicate with other fish or provide camouflage. This family also has a species, mustache, and other fish are attracted, mistaking the animal for a meal. Easy, however, in a blink of an eye the dragonfish pounces, get yours food. Meanwhile, in regions of almost 3,000 meters deep in the ocean Pacific, a carnivorous sponge calls attention because it looks like a tree full of ping pong balls. No wonder. To make things easier, she received precisely the name of ping pong or tree sponge of ping pong. Although it is carnivorous, it is not as if she fed on others animals. She actually prefers zooplankton and small shrimps up to, because these sponges are not very large from the base to the top, have approximately 50 centimeters high, with each little ball from Ramos has an average of 3 to 5 cm at feeding time. These spheres can inflate to get closer to prey, and once that happens, the prey ends up trapping the spheres that have small spines that look like hooks. The food, and very slowly the digestive cells of sponge go to the sphere to eat the prey. More impressive than that is the age of fossils of the genus Dessa species, as they have just under 2 millions of years. Like these sponges live at the bottom of the sea, there is possibility of them being on Earth much longer. And finally, we have the terrible worms, zombies, officially called Ostax. These animals got their name from fact of feeding on human remains from other animals such as whale bones and things like that. This species uses acids to help access content inside the whale's bones, and then uses symbiotic bacteria to convert proteins and fats from bones and nutrients that serve as food. The females of this species can reach 5 centimeters in length, while the males are microscopic in comparison with females. These animals were only discovered by humans in the 2000s. Since then, another 25 species have been cataloged. So which of these scary creatures, if you think it's more bizarre, tell me here in the comments below. For today is see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and see you later.